Hello everyone, this is Jack Frost with your monthly update for silver. Before we get into it, I want to say that I am currently doing a gold analysis 5 times a week with a video like this at the end of each week. If that is something you're interested in, there will be a link to sign up for that today at pureelliottwave.com. The link will be in the description below. Overall price has increased after its previous low in February, now expecting increased upwards movement for both Elliott Wave counts, Elliott Wave first, technical analysis last. On the main weekly chart, we see the end of primary wave 1 within cycle wave 3 over here, primary wave 2 down, and now an extended primary wave 3 expected to pull price higher. Within primary wave 3, intermediate and minor third waves are also expected to pull price higher, now expecting overlapping third waves at 4 large degrees. Cycle wave 3 has a target calculated at 46.82, the 1.618 Fibonacci ratio of cycle wave 1. And within that, primary wave 3 has a target calculated at 31.12, the 1.618 Fibonacci ratio of primary wave 1. A base channel is drawn around the primary degrees from the beginning of primary wave 1 over to the left of the chart to the end of primary wave 2 with a parallel copy on the end of primary wave 1. Intermediate wave 3 should find resistance at the upper edge of this channel, though primary wave 3 should break above this channel. And the end of minor wave 2 broke below this base channel just here. If minor wave 2 continues any lower, it cannot move below the start of minor wave 1 at 20.704. Overall increased bullish movement is expected with increasing momentum. On the main daily chart, the end of minor wave 1 at this high here, we see more detail for the downwards movement labeled minor wave 2, currently subdividing as a complete double zigzag, with this upwards movement labeled the beginning and middle of minor wave 3. Currently expected to be within overlapping third waves down to minuet degrees. Minute waves 1 and 2 complete here, with minute wave 3 now pulling price higher with a target calculated at 24.796, the 1.618 Fibonacci ratio of minute wave 1. A base channel is drawn around the minute degree movements from the beginning of minute wave 1 to the end of minute wave 2, with a parallel copy on the end of minute wave 1. Price has broken above this for the end of minuet wave 1, come back for minuet wave 2, and now moves away for minuet wave 3. Within minute wave 3, no second wave corrective movement can move below its start at 22.282. An overall price is expected to continue upwards away from this base channel. When a complete Elliott structure is seen for minute wave 3, this channel will be redrawn as an Elliott channel. And on the weekly alternate chart, the end of minor wave B within intermediate wave 3, labeled complete over here. This wave count sees primary wave 1 within cycle wave 3 unfolding as an incomplete leading diagonal. Upwards movement is expected to continue for the end of minor wave C before price continues lower for intermediate wave 4. If minor wave B does continue any lower, it cannot move below the start of minor wave A at 20.704. And overall, cycle wave 3 pulls price higher with a target calculated at 46.82, the 1.618 Fibonacci ratio of cycle wave 1. On the technical weekly chart, price has found support at 22, now increasing, finding resistance at 24.5, with a slight decline in volume as volume overall pushes price higher, with a particularly strong spike as price found support at 22 just here. On balance, volume continues in a range with no signal. ADX declines, showing no clear trend, with RSI and money flow both neutral and stochastics neutral, having just failed to enter oversold, where price found support here at 22. On the daily chart, price has increased after this low in February, finding resistance at 24.5 after this bearish upper wick and a push from volume on this bearish candlestick as price moved above support at 24. Volume is overall increasing as price increases, though a recent decline in volume today and a push on the bearish candlestick gives some concern for the short term. On balance, volume continues in a range with no signal, ADX increasing with a bullish trend that is not yet extreme, RSI and money flow both neutral and stochastics overbought. This data sees upwards movement to continue with a bullish trend that is not yet extreme and RSI and money flow both neutral. This trend may continue to where ADX reaches extreme conditions and RSI and money flow enter overbought or exhibit some divergence. That's all for me with your monthly update for silver. I hope everyone has a good weekend.